as you don't know yet, I was a musical theater major in college, which meant I wore a lot of makeup. Mm-hmm. Guess what? Last night was my big comeback of wearing makeup. I had brown eyeliner under my eyes, like halfway. That's what I learned from TikTok.
Okay.
This kid, Huddy. You know Huddy?
Huddy, no.
Yeah. A little blush right here and on the tip of the nose.
Wow. What was it for?
I went to a wedding last night. Oh. Not mine. Jesus Christ, not mine.
Okay.
Say wedding as
Yes,
her?
exactly.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
I love that.
Do you wear makeup?
I've never worn makeup. Nope. Never. I mean, I need it. We need it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I think
we're gonna get a budget. Once we get the budget going, we'll get a groomer in here, and then we'll put makeup on.
That is the plan.
Steph, do you wear makeup?
I don't know. Can you tell? No, I do like wearing makeup, but I like wearing
Your makeup is fantastic.
Yeah, really
thank you. I like wearing like natural makeup. I want to look very tan, glowy
That's
from
what
the
I should
inside
have
out.
done last night. I looked like a fucking ghost with these like black shadow eyes and bright pink. Oh, dude!
Like
now I'm thinking about it, and I just want to leave, and I'm embarrassed.
You should have showed up today. It would have been great if you went to bed with it and then just came straight away and came to the show like that.
You're also doing like emo boy makeup though. Like Lil Huddy is an emo
I'll be right back.
TikTok.
Let's start the show.
Yeah, we'll
on.
get the makeup going. Yeah. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Manly Things,
Sort of.
podcast where we're talking men's fashion, and today we have an amazing stylist based out of Nashville, Stefani Colvin. My name is Evan Simonich, celebrity menswear stylist. Sally, talk to the people.
My name is Sally, and I've recently started an embroidery business. I don't have any of the machines yet, but
By hand?
I just started it.
Cool. Oh, okay, I got you.
And you?
Me.
Yeah, Stephanie. So, Nashville-based stylist from Alabama, correct?
Yes.
First off, how many guns do you own? Do you go hunting?
No.
Well, you're not from Alabama.
Yeah.
Then.
Who
Okay.
do you think you are then?
I was a horse girl though, so not sure if
shit.
that's
I didn't even
better
think
or
of
worse.
that.
That's a different kind of Alabama. Yeah.
But I feel like there's two types of horse girls. There's like the normal ones like me, and then there's like the ones that still run around on their like stick horse and like jump over the
hobby
jumps.
horse.
Literally, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
That's so funny. But yeah, I grew up riding horses. That was like my number one thing. I had 5 horses, but I did hunter jumper. So I was always like very into preppy fashion, I feel like. Like with Ralph Lauren, all stuff like that. So that is my version of Alabama, but my dad is a very Southern man. He grew up very Southern Baptist. So he loves to fish, hunt, recently into golf.
Love it.
I'm not into any of those things.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
The gun thing threw me off. What's more important, because I did a little bit of research.
Okay.
Obviously, you didn't. She's a pop star from Alabama.
Yeah, true.
You have a
Right.
song with like over 6 million streams. That's fucking insane, dude. How did that come to be?
Well, like you said, I was a pop star in a past life. No, that was a really fun song. And that was like one of the only songs that kind of went on TikTok for me. Back in maybe like 2020, I released that song. And then I've released a full EP with that song on it, and then a couple singles after and before that. So I have
you're
a lot of
vet in
songs out.
music.
Yeah,
Or do you have
seriously.
like any other background, or did you just feel like singing during the pandemic?
I grew up singing in church.
Let's
Duh,
fucking
of
go.
course.
They're the
That's where it all
from
begins.
best
That's where it all
singers.
begins. Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to be like a worship leader for Hillsong. Something about me, I always want to be like at the top of whatever I do. So with horseback riding, I was state champion in my division. For worship leading, obviously I feel like that's as big as you can get. Like Hillsong, traveling, I always wanted to travel and
Other
play
than
like
God
the arenas.
herself.
Yeah, other than God herself.
On.
That was good. Yeah, that just was so good. It got me sidetracked.
Sorry, yeah. You're always at the top of the game in whatever you do, and you want to be a worship leader. But
Yes.
what happened when that dream perished?
Well,
What-
then I realized that the church is like a cult, and
Okay,
I was
me
like
too. I'm
so
ex-Catholic,
deep
baby.
into it that I remember in high school one of my friends telling me that they didn't believe in God, and that like made me cry. And I was like, I don't know, something that's not feeling right here. So left that, and I was like part of a mega church, like leading worship for a mega church, which I'm not even sure if you guys know the difference, but it's pretty terrifying.
Sounds scary, yeah.
It's pretty terrifying. It's very culty. And then I got into musical theater kind of during that time as well. And then I quit horseback riding because I wanted to do acting. So I got an acting agent, and I had 2 agents, and I was auditioning for a lot of commercials and stuff like that. And then I realized I hate acting because you have to kind of like even tone down your natural self to like come across more genuine on the screen. And I just was like, I'm really bad at this, so I'm going to stop, like, self-awareness. And then did musical theater, but then started going to Nashville and writing songs. And then my parents really encouraged me to go to Nashville to write songs and not go to college. So I moved as soon as I graduated high school, just moved to Nashville, cold turkey, was writing country music. And then I was like, obviously I'm not a country musician. So then I started writing pop music, and then I did that for a while. But I've always been into fashion. I had a YouTube channel in middle school. I had an Instagram page called A Prep Down South.
A Prep Down South. Nice.
We have a very similar trajectory. I don't know anything about fashion, but everything up to there.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't a worship leader either, but okay, maybe
The musical
theater thing, we were very similar.
Yeah. Honestly, that was so fun. Like, I loved that era. Went to
it's
Broadway,
so exciting.
saw some stuff.
Especially when you're younger and you're experimenting with yourself and your own personal identity. It's really fun to play all these weird, quirky, dramatic characters to learn more about yourself. Have you ever acted in a movie?
Never nope. Behind the scenes.
No,
person.
you were in a reality show, weren't you?
I was on the Kardashians. But I don't like to brag or anything. Yeah, it was
Oh
real
my
quick.
gosh.
Yeah, it was. I was with a celebrity, and then they were there. It was the whole
nice.
thing. It was embarrassing, but to wrangle it all in.
Yes.
Thank you for the backstory. It was actually perfect. We met because you style Ella Langley. I style Riley Green.
Yes.
And they had a great song that came out. You Look Like You Love Me, and you have been killing it with Ella. I think, speaking of like, you want to be at the top of the game, I think you are honestly like projecting towards that just based off how you're doing with Ella. So you're awesome. Honestly, awesome job with her. Did you start, how was the conversation with that? Like, did the management reach out? Where did you start with Ella? Like, if you can talk about that for a little bit.
So Ella is signed with the Neil Agency, which is her booking agent. And my friend Julianne works for the Neil Agency, and Ella was looking for a stylist last year. I hadn't had very much experience before this, just a little bit, but I feel like people have always liked my personal style. So then when I was getting into styling artists, it just kind of like resonated with everyone. So she plugged my name. We met. I met with her creative director, her manager, her publisher, like a bunch of people.
Before you met Ella, or did you meet Ella first?
I met them all at the same time. Okay. So we kind of had a big meeting, and that went super well. And then we started working together, but it has been a process, and I can get more into that as well.
No,
but
I think that's what the whole thing is, like, is talking about the whole process with it all. Yeah.
I think trust is earned, not given, especially with an artist like Ella that is so involved in her like artistic vision. So, and also the song hadn't like blown up at this point. Like, she was still like pretty successful and getting some good like traction and on tour with Riley and doing these Morgan Wallen shows and like doing really cool things. But I don't think she had tapped into that inner confidence yet. And so styling her in the beginning was not necessarily difficult, but we were trying a bunch of different things, and she hadn't fully like trusted me yet to do my full thing. But once we like worked together, we like slowly started pulling in vintage. And then I think it was February, March of this year, I finally got her in a sheer black lace dress, which I've just been dying to get her in. And she wore it on the beach and she loved it. And she had just got her bangs cut at this point, which I think was just, she talks about it all the time, how the bangs changed her life.
Funny.
It just gave her a look, and just everything just started clicking once she trusted me to kind of do my thing, found some like inner confidence to wear some things maybe out of her comfort zone, the bangs and the success of the song. And then just, it couldn't be more of like a perfect storm, and especially with her creative direction or creative director and manager having so many years working with her in the past. Just now we're all like so locked in. And I used to have to get every single thing approved by her, but now I just kind of like show up with what I want and it works. And I think it has to do a lot with like her inner confidence and just everything that gave her that confidence. I don't know.
You mentioned something about bringing in vintage, and I'm curious because styling is, all about fashion, but vintage, I think, is a different, not industry, but appendage of the fashion industry. And so do you have history with vintage shopping, vintage curating?
Yes. So I've been selling vintage full time since 2020. I do a focus in women's 90s Y2K designer.
Nice.
Cool.
But I know about everything else because I'm just in the community and so fascinated by it. I remember turning 16 and I worked for a spine surgeon. I did like co-op. So I was just kind of like, pulling up x-rays and nothing crazy, but I would get out at 2:00 every day from work, and Fridays I wouldn't even have to go to work, and I would go thrifting immediately after that, like every day as soon as I could drive. I just was so fascinated by vintage clothing and especially the thrifting aspect of it. Now thrifting is like a little harder and has lost its sparkle, but still sourcing at like warehouses and stuff definitely gives me a high.
Why?
I don't know. It's just something deep in my soul. Like, I think vintage is so fascinating.
Why is it more difficult now to curate vintage?
I think it's more popular. So more people are looking for things. And also, as time goes on, then the super old stuff gets more and more rare. Like if we're talking 1920s, that's over 100 years old at this point. So I just don't think it's as easy to find because it's just getting older and older. And then also people are becoming more aware of the market. And I think also learning how to do that, which you can learn how to do that. Like it's not some secret like thing that you need to be gifted with, I just love vintage. I think it's so fascinating, especially like the like Edwardian, like late 1800s, early 1900s stuff. I have a couple dresses that I like to wear often, but they just don't make stuff like that anymore.
Well, speaking of vintage, we glossed past what we're wearing today.
I know, and this shirt
with your shirt's dope. World Series is going on. Dodger up 2.
Yes.
Can you talk about what you're wearing real quick?
I'm wearing a vintage 1950s little baseball tee. I was really drawn to it because I thought this little play ball patch was really interesting. I've never seen anything like that. You always see them with the numbers on it, and I have a couple of those too that I really like, but this was interesting. And I also like the like color combo of the red and yellow being primary colors. I thought was interesting. I'm just wearing some Reformation jeans. Vintage jeans are tough for me, I think, because my body shape and how I like them to fit. But I do like these. And then I'm just wearing some vintage Chanel loafers. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, no big deal. Chanel.
What about is that a little watch?
Oh, yeah. Just
That's
like a
adorable.
little vintage watch. I also like to wear them as chokers. If you like connect two together, they could be like a little choker.
Oh, that's cool. You also
tip.
You have a piece of jewelry in your teeth, right? Like,
Yes. Tooth
I can
gems.
see the tooth gem. Okay. Hey now.
so does that just stick on the tooth?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Been on there for like 3 years.
They drill it in.
No shit.
Yeah, it's
God
drilled.
damn.
No.
I know.
Oh.
I like to scare them a little bit.
Wait a second.
Damn, at the dentist? What dentist are you going to?
No, I would have to go to the dentist to get it taken off.
Oh, yeah. I see Issey Miyake pants on you.
Of course you do.
Go ahead.
Just got these. They're wide leg Issey
Love
Miyakes.
it.
Just got these. They're square toed Guidis. I creamed when I took these out of the box. It was fucking insane.
So good.
Urban Outfitters, Loro Piana,
Nice.
Skin Contact Wine.
This is an expensive outfit. Nicely done.
You're
Respect.
telling me.
Seeger Boys hat, double RL shirt. I got these new I have some stuff coming up with Luke Grimes and Carhartt's in a bunch of shit. So I got these pants and I love them. I love the double front. And then I just shot like a Wolverine ad with Jordan Davis and some worker boots. It's like I'm working hard,
You got a knee vent. You see
Yeah,
that?
I know. All double front pants have this little vent. So just in case like there's some sort of sand or any material that gets in, you have a little outlet right there.
You could always ask one of your buddies, like, "Hey, my knee's a little hot. Could you
Just blow up in there. Yeah, exactly. You said something that reminded me of my relationship with Riley. So I started with him like in 2017, 2018, just coming off of like building houses and stuff. And I thought he was your typical country boy. Like I put him in some like Billy Reed, some good country stuff, which was fine. And then all of a sudden it took a turn when like he just hit the gym. He was always like in good shape, always like strong built and everything. But there's a difference between like construction strong and then like gym strong.
Yeah.
No offense, I fucking love Riley to death, but He's now gym strong. He hasn't lifted up a hammer in a very long time.
Yes.
And you can just tell, like, if you look at his Instagram now, it's like their arms are crazy, right? And so we shifted to long sleeve shirts rolled up just to strictly shorts. Like, let's show those puppies off because that's what's bringing the girls to the show, you know?
Yeah.
When you said cutting bangs, so like that's where I think the guy versus the girl like styling is a little different, and so like, it could be a hair transformation. That's what's gonna like all of a sudden bring someone's confidence up, right? So can you talk about that a little bit, like the whole when you cut the bangs? How did that shift the dynamic between pulling clothes for her then versus now?
I think it just locked her brand even further in. The bangs were solely her decision. Okay. She did it on accident, and then, well, not necessarily on accident, but she cut them because she could just kind of like does stuff like that sometimes. And she's like, oh wait, I like this. And then she got them professionally kind of cut and trimmed up. And I think it just really plays into kind of the country Stevie Nicks thing that we're leaning into.
Yes.
Especially with her bangs and just like the 70s in general. And she loves to like fling her hair around on stage. She's super hot, like super sexy. So I think it just made sense. Like it just went with everything that we were wearing and continue to wear, and really just gave her that confidence. Like, I don't know. Maybe I should cut some things.
Does this shift in her image seem to have propelled her into like the perfect direction?
100%. I think that she would still be extremely successful regardless, because she's like one of the coolest girls I know, the hardest working girl I know, just like a good hang, extremely talented, has like worked her ass off for a year. So I think with the song, she would have been successful regardless. But I think with this image that people are also able to buy into, not only do they like her music, but now they like her style. They're like, where did you get this? They want to be her. They want to dress like her. And I think that just makes you way more money.
That's iconic. I mean, to have that influence over the lay people, the people that are just listening to your music, that's such a good move. Good for you.
Guys want to be with her. Girls want to be her.
Yeah.
That's honestly the goal behind styling. Yeah, that's genuinely my like rule of thumb for styling guys. But honestly, her album is crazy good.
It's so good.
Yeah, so Hungover is the album title. Were you at Red Rocks? So like the launch of Ella and Riley song together was at Red Rocks. They did this like lyric video there. Were you there for that?
I was not.
Okay.
Sadly. But I loved that look.
So good. And Riley's management team was like, hey, we're doing a shoot in Denver. If you're available, come. And I was like on a press tour. I think I was like in Europe at the time. And then this video comes out. I was like, yo. There's a difference between Red Rocks and Denver. Like I would have flown from anywhere to go to Red Rocks and just be behind the scenes in that whole environment.
Right.
But that song, when that lyric video dropped, then like, oh shit, like this is legit. And then we shot the video, and we'll put the link up for the video, which I think is a great video, directed by Ella along with two other directors. Can you talk about the process? Like that's where we met. Yeah. The process of like collaborating with me, and collaborating with the directors, because it's always hard when you have a director and then a talent and then management. So with having three directors, so you dealt with it more than I did, because you guys just gave me an image and we went off of that. But yeah, if you talk about that for a second.
Yeah. So like you said, Ella directed the video, and I'm happy that you guys are hyping me up, but I wouldn't be able to do any of this without her clear vision and like just being so amazing to collaborate with. She's truly like a dream client. Love you.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, this was a little stressful for me because I was in Greece when they finalized this video. Okay. There had been talks about it. I'll give it a second. There had been talks about the video before I left, but I was in Europe for almost 3 weeks. The budget was getting tough. At first, they were like, we'll do 15 people. And I'm like,
yeah, you had to do all the background people too.
Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, like that's going to be, more expensive. Like I have to get clothes for 15 people. And then they were like, well, we don't have it in the budget, so let's just do Ella. And I was like, okay, cool. We can also do that. And then the next day they're like, no, like we need you to style the band and Ella and all the extras again. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, this is the lowest amount of money I could possibly do this for, which, you know, she's still like an emerging act. Like we're still working on smaller budgets. And also I wasn't there. So I was like, I have to hire an assistant to go to these costume houses in Nashville to see kind of what we're working with. Cause I was like, if there's stuff there, that's fine. When I get home, I can pull and it'll be totally fine. But if there's not stuff there, then I'm going to have to figure something else out, because Nashville's not like LA. There's not a ton of, there's actually no showrooms.
We'll get into that too.
Literally not at all.
Yeah.
So it's not that easy. You have to go to like individual vintage stores, or like, thankfully I found this costume house. Anyway, so my assistant went, there was so much stuff. I was like, okay, this is awesome. This is great. Felt a lot less stressed about it. Got home, pulled everything for the band and her and et cetera, et cetera. And we tried on a bunch of different options, but she had this vision of being in this red corset, which was a vintage Fredericks of Hollywood one, but people are like ripping it off. So I think there's like one similar on Amazon, but I'm like, this is the OG one. So yeah, it was really fun. Definitely a little stressful, especially because I wasn't in the country, but it ended up working out great.
No, it worked out amazing. The video is awesome. They did get a nomination for the CMA Awards, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Luckily on my end, you guys just sent me a picture and you were like, this is what Ella wants him to wear. And it was him in like a dirty Henley long sleeve, suspenders, a hat and trousers. So easy on me because I have access to all the like showrooms here in LA, showrooms, and then also costume houses.
Right.
Shout out Palace, Western, all that stuff. In terms of so I've never experienced the Nashville costume houses. Like when I go out there, I'm usually probably going to hit like Double RL, Billy Reed, all those like normal stores. So what can you name some of them, or like how is that different? Like from my end, it's easy to do that because like movies are made here. So in Nashville, is all this stuff new? All these costume houses, are they new or have they been around for a while? Like what are they selling?
This costume house specifically that we went to is a musical theater costume house. And it's in this, I think, like PBS building or like some TV show building, but it's all really organized. There's so much stuff because obviously it's for musical theater. So there could be like a King's costume or like Les Mis inspired stuff. Or there wasn't that many options, but there was enough that I made it work. And then I pulled some of the boys' shirts from some of the vintage guys I know around town that sell the older stuff. I don't even know what it's called. Okay. Like Nashville Costume House or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So it's probably only like one, or are there like a couple?
Yeah, I found like another one, but because this one got back to me and then my assistant went there and looked, I just stuck with that one. Okay. But I'm interested to explore another one, but I think it's probably similar, like musical theater stuff.
Were you involved at all with like the discussion of the music video? Because I feel like this music video, like with the super Western-y vibe, like was there any discussion about like how the making of the video at all? Like, or were you in talks with them at all?
They had decided what they wanted to do, kind of like the Western saloon theme, but we went back and forth on how costumey or like kind of what like era and decade that they wanted. So that's like the only thing that we went back and forth about. But Ella had a very clear vision. They had a whole like treatment written out. They're like, this is what we're doing. This is what we want. So it's pretty easy. But I'm excited to be involved in her creative direction in the future. And I've told her creative director that I want to be involved in that.
Yeah, very good.
With that being said, the image and the theme and the whole environment is so vivid in the music video. Did you have to do a lot of research, like historically, to figure out what exactly was going to be in the music video? Because we talked about this before this interview. She's doing something that a lot of other country artists aren't doing, which is like the original country look. Yeah. Whereas everyone else is like sitting on the back of a truck.
Yeah, you got a truck, whiskey.
So everyone's super familiar with this. So speak on how much research and what it was like diving into that whole scene.
I definitely had to do a lot of research, but probably not as much as I would have had to do if I had no vintage background. So I think that helped me because I am familiar with like the early like 1900s kind of like Western saloon, dirty, like outlaw. Also, I think Billy the Kid is extremely fascinating. I saw like something on him recently. It's random. So yes, I definitely did some research. They had also done, Ella had like a bunch of movie references that she wanted. Like she came to the table prepared, knowing what she wanted. She sent me a bunch of pictures. She was like, I want to look like this. I want Riley to look like this. So she really like knows what she wants. So I think that makes our job a little easier for sure.
Yeah. Working off an image for me, it was super easy.
Yeah.
All right, Sally, your turn. This is the part of the show where you get to.
Oh yeah.
I don't care about social media.
Yeah.
So Sally gets to ask you all the questions in the world about. Yeah.
You're chronically online, as am I. You have such a unique way and a balanced way of representing your brand in so many different ways. You're the hot girl who posts like pictures against a wall and against a car, but you're also posting your work and your professional career. How do you do it? Do you just treat it as a social media page, or is it a tool for you? Do you reach out to clients using your Instagram? Do you draw people into your Instagram and TikTok? Tell me.
Well, I think because I started as an artist, I'll never not post myself. And I do think that I have gotten a lot of jobs and recognition based on my personal style, which I like barely even post about anymore, honestly. But
I noticed that.
Yeah, for a while I was like doing some like crazy outfit stuff. And also my personal style has changed a lot since I was really leaning into like the Y2K aspect of my brand as an artist. Now I'm a lot more like chill, like jeans, loafers, like a cool vintage jacket, something like that. So I think I'll always post myself because I think it's fun to post about your life. Like I was in Europe and I don't know. I'm trying to post my work more. If anything, I'm like bad about posting that, but I know it's like really important. And then just having like a mixture of everything, a good balance I'm trying to capture. But on TikTok, I have followers on there because I would post all my vintage hauls and like I used to do style bundles back in the day, so many things. So that's where I have followers from that. And a lot of those people follow my Instagram for the vintage fashion, but then also for music. And obviously I've like lost followers since I've stopped making music because they probably don't care about me posting other artists like that I've styled. They're like, where's your music, bitch? And I'm like, sorry, it's not coming out ever.
I'm a music producer if you ever want to work together.
Never again.
Oh, damn.
No, I'm a little jaded, but that's okay.
I feel you.
Yeah, I don't know. I just post what I like and I'm just myself. So
exactly. You humanize yourself in so many contexts, which is exactly what he doesn't do. Yeah. I think we had a little bit. I don't know if we're going to get to it
I think
today.
we'll do it. I think we should do it at the end. I think
we'll do it as a separate thing, but we're going to create Evan's first Instagram post.
You'll help me. Yeah. Will we keep it? No, but it'll be fun just to post it and then tease some people with it.
Can you speak on how your personal style did develop? Because obviously being from Alabama, you may have grown up with somewhat of a specific style. What prompted you to start experimenting and then sharing what you're doing with your style?
I think it's evolved so much over the years because I'm still pretty young. And so I don't think I think I'm just changing as a person and my identity. So what I would wear in middle school, like I said, watching YouTube, have always watched YouTube. I was watching a lot of like preppy YouTubers because I'm like in the South. So I was like rocking J. Crew, like Ralph Lauren, stuff like that, posting on my little Instagram. And then kind of when Tumblr became more popular, I kind of got more into like the American Apparel, like Tumblr, vibe for a minute. And then later in high school, when I was just like not caring about dressing up for school, I'd just like literally wear workout clothes, like Lululemon. So I don't really think I had much of a personal style during that era. And then I moved to Nashville and I was like still like 18, 19. So definitely wearing some like younger stuff, but always like a vintage jacket or like a vintage mom jean, but I don't really like prefer high waisted now. Definitely a low waisted girly.
I wish I was. I've always wanted to rock a low waisted jean, but I.
Yeah.
Also, the butt crack would just be wide
Yikes,
open.
never mind.
Hey,
Go on.
Free it. I've just like changed as a person a lot, and I definitely prioritize comfort now. Like I want to be comfortable. I don't love tight clothes, but when I was an artist, I would like, and also I was like single for a lot of my like artist era, so I was being that hot girl. I was
Yes,
like, let me,
baby.
no clothes, come on.
Yeah. Does that go into styling Ella? Like, forget her like personal, if she has a boyfriend or she has a partner, whatever. Kind of expressing that like sexiness, that hot girl. Like, is that almost how you would want to style yourself? Is that kind of where it's going to? Like how you're handling her?
Yeah, I definitely think you can see my own personal taste and take, but I think you should as a stylist. And I think that's why people do hire you. They're like hiring you for your like curation and taste, but obviously accounting in for their own personal brand, but like meshing the two together, I think is really special. And also like there are some people that I've styled where I'm like, I would never wear this, but I know that they would love this so much. So I think it's like a give and take, but definitely like I love everything that I've been putting Ella in, especially since we transitioned more into like the dresses and like the black and the sexy stuff rather than like the Western kind of flair. We never like did bell bottoms because obviously that's Lainey Wilson's thing. Yeah.
But that's where like, and I think there's a little bit of comparison. I think this album alone, like I think is better than anything Lainey's done, but Lainey has the bell bottom thing and she's so country. Like you like talk to her and you really can't understand what she's saying because she has that Southern draw.
Ella does too though.
Yeah, she does. Especially from Bama. With that, like, that's where I think you're like stepping away from everyone because you're dressing her so different than like the country level aspect. So I just wanted to commend you on that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
You're an innovator in the new country industry.
But real quick, even in the on the album cover, your story or her story about like her rings and wearing the turquoise. Can you just say that one time for me? Yeah.
Such a cool story. So hopefully you don't butcher the story, Ella. I think I'm gonna get it right. Grew up, she spent a lot of time with her grandparents. Her grandparents were the musical ones, and her mail lady would always come by and she would always sing for her mail lady. And her mail lady's father was a Creek or Cherokee Indian. So he had all this, or native, like indigenous person. So he had all this turquoise that she just gave Ella a massive box. Yeah. This turquoise is thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of turquoise. And she's just letting her use it. And it's just it's such a cool story. And it's just so authentic to her personal style and her brand. Like no one can take that away from her. Like this is like turquoise that her mail lady is like letting her use. And it's just like a $3,000 bracelet on her arm, you know?
And it's such a great accessory to have because like on the album cover, she's like in all black in like a dungy room. And then the turquoise like is like splattered around her and it's like perfect elevation of color. Yeah. I actually think you would do really well with some turquoise. Ooh. Like a nice, thick, like big turquoise necklace, like Stapleton, you know, that whole thing.
Thank you very much.
We'll figure that out.
Seems like authenticity is at the root of your brand, which is something that I really appreciate.
Yeah. And definitely root of hers. So,
yeah,
and we're the same age. Like we're, you know, we just have fun. Like I would consider her my friend at this point, and we've come a long way. Just her artist development as a person and as an artist over the past year, it is night and day. It is one of the coolest things to honestly like observe because it's just so cool. Like it's like, oh, this is working. Like this is like paying off.
And to see an artist do it themselves without much influence from like the man up top. It's really, truly a talent.
Yeah. Like she has worked for it. Like she deserves everything and all the success that she's getting.
Yeah, please go listen to the album. The album is crazy good. And she's going to blow
up. You want to boost her up? What's the name of the album? Where
listen to Hungover by Ella Langley. But also her deluxe album is coming out, I think, next week on the 4th or the 5th or something. There's 4 new songs on there. Ooh. So listen to that one.
Yeah. Okay.
Because this will be out by
Familiarize yourself with the original and then get the deluxe.
It's funny how like with no CMAs roll around, especially with like the nomination they have, you start seeing them everywhere. Like we're about to do like our normal segment that we have, but like we're going to talk about the CMAs and the whole like Today Show and Fallon and all that kind of stuff. So the Academy Museum holds. It's almost like the LA version of the New York Met Gala. It's a fundraiser to help get commission for future exhibitions at the museum. So,
and educational programs.
Yes.
Okay,
Huge.
love that.
And so I feel like more people go to this one, and it could be like A, B, C list celebrities going to this one versus the Met Gala, because the Met Gala is so private and like you have to be invited by certain people and all that kind of stuff. So I think this one, a lot of people show out for this. So I usually go to a website called Tom and Lorenzo. I do want to shout them out, but I don't, because they're actually really kind of harsh, like a little too harsh on people.
I was reading some of the comments. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, they're tough, dude. They're tough. And I do love the images that they share. I think they do a good job of showing people what the guys are wearing. But we also thought like this was a cool image of the guys all together, right? Like this wasn't every single guy that went, but when you see an image like this, I think it you can kind of see specific things that really stick out. To you, Steph, like what do you see when you look at this? What are you looking at as a stylist and as a female?
Obviously, I'm drawn to the color, but I'm not sure how I feel about the color in the full look. Yeah. But that's like what I'm looking at initially. And I think Drew Starkey, is that his name? He looks very plain to me, just from this little
with
clip
with the button shirt.
Everyone looks pretty hot, honestly. So
okay. When you look at this, Sally, what do you think?
Well, I'm actually referencing a prior conversation that we just had. I'm trying to figure out like whose stylist is whose client is whose stylist, because everyone has a brand, everyone has a look, everyone has a curated look.
Yep.
And I'm seeing similarities in a few of these people, but really, I mean, there's really wide variety of looks. I think specifically, of course, Coleman Domingo is slaying, killing it, boots the house down. And I also kind of really like the simple look of Nicholas Hoult. It's very classic, but I'm curious to know what he looks like in a full image.
Yes, so we're going to go to the full looks here. We're looking at Paul Mescal, who was an honoree at the event. He was in Gucci and Cartier. As you could tell on his wrist is the tiniest. Yeah, you have to get the magnifying glass out for this one. Tiniest Cartier watch, which I think is really sick. I think as an honoree, obviously Gucci's doing a thing with like the no shirt. He's in an all black, double-breasted tuxedo. Fit-wise, it's a little on the looser side, and it looks as if there's no shirt underneath. Like the white is just like almost like a collar. When you guys see this, what are your thoughts on this?
I like this, honestly. I do like a baggier look, if I'm going to be honest. Like when I looked through all these, and I even really like the other like baggier ones, but I think it's like an ode to kind of like the 60s, 70s, 80s. So especially like 80s. So, and I just love like an ode to something older. So and I think he looks good.
Gucci was doing, who's the Alessandro Michel? He was doing a really motif style 70s and 60s, but I really like where this is. It's much more toned down. I like that the shoulders aren't as like flat and wide, but the length of the jacket plus the sort of fit of the pants, it's really beautiful. And you're right, it's an ode to that era.
I like the little, I can't tell what that is, a pin.
Yeah, the lapel pin.
Yeah, is that lapel pin?
Yeah, it looks like just a little needle.
Yeah, that's kind of classic Cartier. Just like honestly, yeah, that's all it is, like a lapel pin. I think it's smart, especially to break it up, because if you look at it without it, it would just be plain black. Like there's nothing to it.
Right.
I think that little touch and like it's like the daintiness of that and the watch, I think goes very very well together. We will move on to.
What do you think about it?
I like it. So I like the idea of it. Personally, on my end, I like a better fitting tuxedo, especially like I like the silhouette. I wish it kind of fit with a more form fitting to his body. But if you think about it too, he's not out there trying to be like a sex. I think that's what's sexy about him, is that you're not seeing everything, but like his body is very. he's not. I mean, I'm sorry, he's not like muscular. So in terms of like the tuxedo, doesn't need to be super form fitting for him. So I think it's fine. Would I put him in this? Probably not. But I still think it looks damn good. Yeah. And Mr. Charles Melton,
Brother,
who just
what?
announced that he's like a face for Coach. So Coach is now back in the menswear situation. They took a little bit of a break there for a second.
Yeah, they need to step right back out because this shit is.
We did want to highlight this. My girl Samantha McMillan styles him for this.
Okay.
Felicity K styles Paul Mescal, so my apologies on that one. But yeah, whenever we see a picture of Mr. Melton here, it's always big shit. Like it's always oversized. It's always on the larger side. They nailed it right here. It's a big ass tuxedo.
They nailed the oversized look.
It's just big. But what's funny about it though is like if you look at the pants, they're big, maybe a little too long, but like still thick. But like the shoulders, see how like there's like a little bit of a dimple, like the shoulder pads still flat out. So it's almost as if like the jacket was still kind of too small for him, at least on around the chest size. But yeah, he likes all black. Grooming wise, I think he looks good with the mustache and the hair. But what are your thoughts on this, guys?
Well, quick shout out, Reagan, production assistant, actually once styled his jewelry. What was it for the Oscars? It was for a red carpet event.
Can we say,
so men,
Maria Tash.
Wear some jewelry.
Too late. Yeah, we said Maria Tash. Yeah. Steph, what do you think?
I definitely don't think it fits him very well. Definitely would tailor the length a lot more. I don't think this is a good oversized blazer look. I know I was just hyping them up, but I'm just like...
Well, are you... question for the two of you.
Yeah, please.
Are you supposed to do an oversized double-breasted jacket, or is there a specific suit jacket that you are supposed to do oversized? Because double-breasted oversized, in my opinion, never fucking works. There's too much going on in the torso. The buttons end up being too big and too spread. It's not flattering to the male or female body. So
yeah,
is there another kind of suit jacket or tuxedo that you would suggest doing oversized?
Do you want to go first? Or
there you go.
I agree with what you said. Like the double-breasted is already a big jacket. Like if you have a double-breasted open, it looks like it's a guy's wearing a big jacket. That's why he obviously has it closed. He probably had it closed the entire night. But no, I agree. I think a bigger oversized situation looks better with a single breasted. Or they're starting to do almost like a newer version where they're starting to like move the button over a little bit and to give it that freedom of being oversized. But I think a natural double breasted blazer like that is just a little bit too big.
It's where it's hitting his leg is really bothering me. Like, I feel like it's too long. Yeah. Would you say the double-breasted are always that long?
Yeah, the coat. Usually it's a little on the longer side. Yeah.
Do you ever play with men suiting with your clients?
I haven't really had... I do mainly women. I've done
even so.
Yeah.
Bringing in men's tailoring?
Yes. We do very oversized single blazer.
Okay.
Like big shoulder pads, like
a
boss
Hailey
lady.
Bieber look?
I did like that recent look.
Love Hailey.
Yeah.
Bieber.
Yes.
Everything about her.
I'll show you some pictures.
Please do.
After, but yes, especially I worked with this one director and photographer. Her name is Alexa King. Shout out, love you. She is just the most talented woman I've ever met. And she loves like a boss lady, like suit tie moment. So we just did that for this artist named DeLacy for Playboy. And
I saw you posted that.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, I went on your Instagram, obviously. That was a great shoot. That was a really great shoot.
Thank you. That was really fun. But I guess that was for her press pictures, which aren't out yet. Okay. And then this other girl named Hutton we did. So I'll show you those later.
Yeah, nice. We're going to move to a mainstay on our like little breakdown is Coleman Domingo. Wearing Valentino. We're going to start to see a lot more Valentino men's stuff because Alessandro Michele is back at the helm of a brand. So we saw a lot of Gucci when he was there, and now we're seeing a lot more Valentino on people. And kind of the same odes to what Gucci used to do with him. Like different, like I love the color blocking of this with the black over the red, and almost like those like like almost like they're like dancing shoes, like almost like ballet shoes with like the little ribbon on the shoe with the white socks. The lace gloves. I love all the detailing to it. I think if anyone's going to wear it, I think this dude knocked it out of the park. I love the fact that there's like a sash to close it, especially to highlight the silhouette of it, you know? And I think it's like a natural Alessandro thing to have like a different tuxedo, like rather than doing like a normal bow tie. I don't know if it's a part of the shirt. It's because this is brand new for them. It could be like a clip-on thing, but I have a feeling it's a part of the shirt and it's just like a little attachment at the top. What do you guys think about this one?
I love it.
I also love it. Two things that I want to point out. One, this is very different from what he was doing last award season. He was larger than life in all of his looks in the recent history. But this is, I don't even want to say more subtle, but it is a little bit more subtle. Rather than showing out on the whole look, the accessories are really what's shining, I think, in this. The second thing I want to point out is see the suit, how it's sort of like waistcoaty. Yeah. It's like tied in the front. I was going to wear something like this to David's wedding instead of the Aunt Demeulemeester look that I wore. But I couldn't find my size in a Jill Sander.
Could you have just done a belt around the coat that you wore?
Yeah, I mean, I would have had to probably get some silk and like had something custom made.
Yeah, I got you.
Now that I'm seeing this, I had this idea because Jill Sander put out a really cool suit, but God, now I'm so impressed and inspired. I'm going to get this right now. I'm going to do this.
What do you think, Steph?
I love the color distribution. Like, I like that there's white on the bottom, middle, and top. I know that doesn't really matter, but that's just something that I always look at to me. And also, like, I love a little cat. Like, I don't know. I just love it. It's so cute.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Because I think it's easy on the eye, break with the white in the. It's a very good call. White on the bottom, white in the middle, and white on top. I think it's a great touch. Okay, then we have Cooper Coach or Koch. I have a feeling it's Coach. I played with the baseball. I played with the guy at LMU. Shout out Matt Coach. His last name was spelled this exact way. So it could be Koch, could be Coach. I'm saying Coach.
Cooper, call in. Let us know.
Thank you. Styled by Jamie Mizrahi in full YSL look here. Obviously a little different from the other like tuxedo type of looks that we just looked at. Being navy and the burgundy. Now that you see the full look, what do you think about this one?
I'm a little underwhelmed.
Whoa, really? I love it.
Oh,
I love it. Go ahead. What's your qualm?
Yeah, I'm just a little underwhelmed, but I do love like a navy moment. So I do like that about it, but I don't know. I think I'm a little underwhelmed.
I have a feeling that what I love about it, you hate. I love the matte navy blue. It's so understated and like bland, but against the velour in the back and the whole red carpet, I think that it's so interesting. It looks like negative space almost.
Yeah. And he looks really good in the face.
Yeah, grooming wise, he's a good looking cat. My only qualm is maybe just I may have a couple qualms, but this feels very like homecoming to me. Like I feel like someone's going to high school homecoming in this exact look. What I would change, I would maybe change the shirt, and I don't like the fact that it's like that monochromatic. I would maybe alter it with like a different color shirt, maybe, or like just a different variation. But also, like I think the pant leg is maybe a little too wide on the bottom. I would have tapered it just a touch, because if you look at the arm of the suit, just to kind of match that, I think it would have looked a little bit better, easy on the eye.
I think the real reason why I'm drawn to this is because when I had a Zanga, which is like similar to Tumblr, but before Tumblr, it was just all words, and you could like write your crush's notes and then post them publicly. Anyway, I changed my profile because you could go in and code everything to navy and burgundy.
So color-wise, this hit home for you.
Dude, it brings me right back to 6th grade when I was like writing letters to my friends' moms that I had crushes on. But
friends' moms, I love it.
We'll not get
rather than hide your wives, it's hide your moms. He's gonna catch. Okay, we're gonna fly through these last three real quick. Dwayne Wade, styled by Jason Bolden. Always, especially for a bigger dude, man, he always wears stuff that fits really well. Everything on this, I think, is perfect. I think it's a little old school with the. I think we're actually getting past the whole lapel, like this piece that he's got on, and. I love everything about this. I think fit-wise, it's perfect. The sleeve with the white, I think it all looks very, very sharp. I think, what do you guys think?
I think it looks really good too.
Yeah.
What is he wearing on his wrist? It's very interesting looking.
Like a black, we can look up the brand, but like black band, black face.
It's not a watch.
Oh, it's gotta be a watch. I think it's definitely
okay.
a watch. Yeah. Because you can see by the bezel, there's like a little bit of like a circle with the diamond situation. So yeah, I think it's beautiful.
You're absolutely correct that brooches are
yes.
out. And we don't know really what's next. Maybe lace gloves like Coleman Domingo. But question for you.
Ashley Sips.
I foresee in the near future that women's style on the red carpet specifically is going sort of 20s flapper in a way, which also involves brooches and big costume jewelry. Do you have any thoughts on that, or do you have any rejections to that thought?
I think there's always a way to bring in vintage elements and then make them relevant for today. So I'd like to see influence, but
there's not really a way. I mean, it's not original to emulate something from like the 20s, but there are right ways of introducing like vintage pieces into the conversation and into looks. Can you describe your way of doing that?
I would love to, and I personally love to, maybe have like a little vintage cigarette little pouch from the 1920s, little embellished purse. There is this girl that I follow on Instagram called Cora Violet Auctions. She finds the most insane early 1900s, late 1800s pieces. So some kind of like iconic one of a piece or one of a kind choker maybe could be really cool. Diamond like bracelets from back then. It just like I said, they just don't make stuff like that anymore. The attention to detail. But I'd love to see, like I said, a little choker, a little cigarette bag. I also saw this little tiny bag antiquing that holds a mini gun, which whatever, but I thought that could be cute. Or maybe some kind of like headpiece. I'm not like that into a headband, but I could be interested.
Yeah. What's old is new again, but not really, because if you go too hard into the old, you kind of look like a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
So
just like drawing like inspiration, like stuff that would be cool and trendy now, but was made back then.
And
because not everything,
how fashion has evolved, like it's timeless at this point. You can literally do whatever you want.
Yeah, I think we wrap up the looks based off of that conversation. I think that's right. Between us, so we have a couple of things coming up with Ella and Riley. We have Fallon, which will be a big performance for them, and then
are we allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's been fully announced. I think.
I don't think.
Is it confirmed?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's confirmed. We're fine. No, they're fine. Yeah, they'll be on it. I think it's like November 12th or 11th. So 11th, be on the looks out. Yeah, 11th. Yeah, 11th. They'll be on it. They'll be good. And then CMAs. So doing the red carpet and performance, which has been confirmed. So
yes,
you
very
guys are
excited
going to be
about
in close quarters.
Yeah, we're going to be working together. Yeah, exactly. Have you started talking with her about ideas or anything like that yet?
So for CMAs, we're having a custom dress made. I don't think she'd want me to say anything.
You don't have to say like the name or
additional. No, it's literally these girls at Belmont making it, but it's so cool already. And that's another fun thing is I like to, because I'm so young, I like to give other people like a young chance. I wasn't solely betting on them. I had a lot of backup options, but they're absolutely crushing it. And we're having these like go days in the front. Like it's just going to be, there's a cape. It's going to be a whole thing very Stevie Nicks inspired. So really excited about that. And it's just everything that she loves and feels confident in. So we do have a little vintage purse, we're bringing in. So
this is where the gun purse can come in.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God, she would love that.
Yeah. We honestly, when we were together, we honestly wait till you guys are locked. Riley's very easy. If you think about it, it's just jeans and a t-shirt most of the time.
Yeah.
I think with this award show, and especially with him being nominated, since I've met him and going to these shows, he's always wanted to do the George Strait, where it's like a tuxedo top and then jeans on the bottom. So that will be pulled off at some point. I think maybe for the performance, but that's where I think we have to talk, because like I talked with his team. We also love like a tuxedo black shirt open. Like he'll look so good with that. So like, are more eyes going to be on the red carpet, or are more eyes going to be on the performance? And like that's where I think more eyes might be on the performance. So the performance look should be more of like a show out look. But yeah, I don't know.
When you said tuxedo with jeans, both of us went.
No, but no, when you see it, though, like I feel like when you're driving down Sunset, there's a Ralph Lauren billboard that has like a black dude on the top of like the Rockefeller Center, like overlooking New York, and he's in a full done tuxedo, bow tie, everything, and then jeans and a buckle. Like that's such a Ralph Lauren look.
It's on the RL website
so
too.
Good.
It does look fucking
but
sick.
like when it's pulled off right, and it's really good.
You better pull
that
it
means
off
when
right,
you nail
dude.
it, it's got to be nailed. So, come on, Riley. But yeah, that's what we're aiming for, I think. And I think a cowboy hat obviously will be on our agenda. So
And his cowboy hat.
And
I had to do the reference. Yeah.
But yeah, so far, yeah, I'm excited to work for you. I'm excited to work with you.
Damn, you
Yes.
hired
For you, yeah. Excited to work with you,
about time
and
he has a boss.
looking forward to the next couple of weeks.
Yes, I'm so excited. And they're just going to be doing more and more and more.
I know.
After that, they're going on
They're
tour
going
together.
on tour together. Yeah.
God damn,
Yeah, that video. So there was a good promotion video of the tour where they announced it, and
so fun.
yeah, and I couldn't make it out to Nashville, so I had Steph help me and handle the whole thing, and you did a great job with it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah, the idea behind it was Smokey and the Bandit. So Burt Reynolds and Sally Fields.
Oh my God.
And that's where I think, and I threw this out there on the chat, I don't know if it actually happened, but that's where I think Ella and Riley should ride around Nashville for a little bit, even driving down Broadway and pull up to the CMAs in the Thunderbird that is
100%
from
agree.
that
would be
the shoot.
Such
So
a moment.
that'd be a really dope
I hope that
moment.
does happen.
I know.
They should
seriously.
do that.
They really should, honestly.
They should, but do you know that, not to get back into music, but do you know that when I was about to put out music as Sally,
Yeah.
I was going to call myself Sally Feels with a Z?
Actually, that's kind of sick.
So fucking dumb. I'm just, you can just find me at Sally on
Sally Fields. Yeah, that's great.
Sally feels like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah. Well, Steph, thank you so much for being here with us.
Yes, it was lovely getting to know you.
Great talk. Honestly, great talk. Do you want to let the people know where to find our stuff?
Yeah, we got to probably do this in the very beginning next time.
The whole rate.
But
that's fine. Yeah, on the back end.
what's up, everybody? Check us out on Instagram at ManlyThingsPod, as well as TikTok at ManlyThingsPod. You can also listen to us audio only on Spotify, the podcast
Well,
app,
we're gonna go this
and a ton
long.
of other
We're
things.
going to go this long on it. You just go to social media platforms, all that kind of stuff. Just find us. Manly Things Pod. This has been Manly Things.
Sort of.